Meena here, welcoming you to my channel Grow Joyfully. We are embarking upon this wonderful journey of doing aerobic composting at home together. I hope you watched my first video on Introduction to Aerobic Composting. We are in part 1 series now, which is titled as Getting Started. This series has 4 videos. In the first one, I talked about composting bins, and I hope you have watched it. The current video that you're watching, we will discuss about starters and browns. Now I'm going to explain how to get started with a new bin. I'll take the smallest one here. First, you need to put what is called as a starter. A starter is a material which contains a lot of beneficial bacteria, and this will kickstart the aerobic decomposition process. Only for the very first batch that you're doing, you may have to get compost either from a nursery or you get it gifted from a friend who does composting, and it's enough if you put just 1 or 2 handfuls. This contains billions of teeming bacteria. From the second batch onwards, you will not have problem because your own harvested compost will be there. You can take a couple of handfuls of that compost and then you can start the batch. This is a one-time activity for every new container that you are starting. So I'm going to put here and I'm going to put here also. This is from my previous batch. Once you put the starter, the first thing that you need to do is layer the browns. Do not put greens first because they emit out water and that will get leached out. So at the bottom you should always have browns. There are different kinds of browns that are available. We don't have to spend much on that. Mother Nature gives us freely the dry leaves which are available in plenty in India. From October to March you can collect dry leaves. Any kind of leaves will do. In Bangalore we use honge leaves, you can use ashoka leaves, you can use teak leaves, any kind of leaves except probably eucalyptus, which will take a long time, or coconut brown. The leaves also come with little twigs like this, which is also okay. You don't have to do any segregation. So you just collect the leaves, keep them in a bag away from rains near your composting bin so that you can use it anytime you want. Another alternative is cardboard shreddings. We buy a lot of stuff. We get it in cardboards. We make online purchases, they come in cardboard. So you take them and you just shred them into, you don't need a shredder, you can manually do it. You can just shred them into tiny, smaller pieces as much as possible and keep them aside. So this is another kind of browns freely available at home. Of course, people, if they don't have cardboard, they can also use shredded newspaper. But remember, you should not use the glossy portion of a newspaper. This is the last resort because when Mother Nature gives you dry leaves and you have cardboard shreddings, you may use this as the last resort. One more item people use, and I don't have it here, is sawdust. You need to get that from the nearest sawmill if you have one nearby. You have to ensure that it is chemical-free sawdust. That's one. Some people also put coco peat, but I don't put coco peat, and I don't suggest also because then coco peat is effective. I'm not saying anything against that, but then when you mix the potting mix, then the compost will also contain coco peat, and the proportions you can go wrong. You may go wrong. So normally I don't suggest coco peat. So coco peat, newspaper shreddings, etc. should be the last resort. For me, the first and only one preference that I have always is dry leaves. You can see that now it is summer, and hence you get the leaves. You try to shred them like this. When you shred them into smaller pieces like this, the surface area is higher and hence decomposition will happen faster. Some people say you put all the dry leaves in a bag and ask your child to dance upon that bag wearing your shoes. So you can do something like that, or you can do it with the hand as I'm doing. You can see that I'm able to do it pretty easily, mainly because it's not damp and it's very, very dry. Suppose you say I'm not able to do it, can I use the leaves as such? Yes, fine. Decomposition will happen. But the process will be a little slow. That's about it. Smaller the size of the particles, faster is the rate of decomposition. So, if you are using cardboard, shred them into pieces. If you are using newspaper, shred them into pieces. Leaves as well. Of course, if you are using cocoa peat or sawdust, they are powdery. Nothing needs to be done. So, we are ready with this and we will use it. Remember the formula 1G and 3B. So, you can mix the browns like this, or you can keep them separately. So you can use one type of browns, any kind, or you can use like how I am showing you now, a combination. It all depends on your convenience and what is available at that point in time. So one day you may use cardboard, another day you may use leaves. It's okay. Now what we need to do is follow the 1G 3G formula. We don't need a weighing machine. I can use my hand. I'm just trying to mix and use all of them. Two, a rough approximation of 1:3 will do. 2 and 3. Just pack them. Okay? And this is what I will do for the remaining 2 buckets as well. Apart from the browns that I showed you, there's one more category of browns that comes from your own house. If you buy a lot of flowers for personal use or for doing puja that we Hindus use heavily. So every day you collect the flowers, the leaves that we use, dry them, and they can also be used mixed with the browns. So you can mix them and you can use them. This is a garland here, so I'm just cutting them into smaller pieces. So these flowers also will add a lot of nutrition. So I'm just going to add them as well. You can mix all of them and keep. Once it is dry, doesn't matter. You can use it for the next batch.
Once we understand the browns, it's time to understand what greens are and how to use them. I would request you to watch the next video in part 1 series about understanding greens. Thank you for watching my video. Have a great day.